and gentlemen, welcome to my Week 8 NFL predictions. Coming off of another good week, I went 11-4, bringing my season total to 68, 39, and 1. We are starting to cook. Anyway, we got a pretty short slate ahead of us, only 13 games this week. And before we hop into it, just make sure to check out G Fuel, make sure to check out Waggle, and make sure to use code WyattzWorld at sign up on Prize Picks to guarantee yourself a free $50 with your first $5 entry. But please remember to always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. So, kicking off with Thursday, we have the Vikings at the Chargers. You can get tickets for as low as $23 to this game, apparently. That's wild. Anyway, I'll take the Chargers to win this game 24-20. I don't want to pick the Chargers. I'm not very confident in the Chargers, but I'm more confident in them than I am with the Vikings right now. Carson Wentz looks like he might have a rare, unique ability. One that I'm not sure I've seen anywhere else other than possibly J.J. McCarthy. And that is the unique ability, by the way, to not be able to play under Kevin O'Connell. This is the most miserable year of quarterback play I can remember in a very long time, and that's counting the season that we had to watch Josh Dobbs and Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins come in and sling the rock for us. Also, with Minnesota's secondary just getting killed by Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, I have a feeling the passing leader in the NFL right now, Justin Herbert, is going to do some damage as well. I'm sorry, Minnesota. It's just the way it is. Now moving on to Sunday afternoon, no early game this week. We have the Dolphins at the Falcons. I'll take Atlanta to win this 28-14. I mean, for one, the Falcons play really good at home, but for two, Miami is so far in the ground right now, I don't think anybody expects them to come back from this. You know, if your head coach throwing shade at your quarterback, if your quarterback throwing shade at your team, you're 1-6, you just got mutilated by the Browns. Like, this is a team that I can see breaking into a brawl with each other on the sideline at any given moment. Nobody there is happy. They're just showing up so they don't get fined. Now we got the Jets at the Bengals. As of now, New York still hasn't named their starter. They're leaning more towards Tyrod, but it's not gonna matter. The Bengals are gonna win this game. Looking for Joe Flacco to drop 30 on them. Honestly, I'm thinking that offense is just gonna scorch them. I'll take Cincinnati to win 30-17. And shockingly, this team is gonna be right back into the race, and Joe Burrow is only getting healthier by the week. Why does it feel like having to watch the Jets every week is an honest chore at this point? Like, really, it is. And now we've got the Browns at the Patriots, and I want to pick this as an upset just because I've been so good with them lately, but the problem is I truly don't believe it. I don't believe the Browns can beat the Patriots, especially in New England, but I do think this is going to be a dogfight. I think the Patriots are going to get away by, I'll say, a field goal, 3 points, 23-20. I'm looking for big games out of both teams' tight ends here, and I'm also looking for a Drake May interception just to prove that you are human. Otherwise, we might have to cut that son of a bitch open. Patriots win. Now we've got New York at Philadelphia. Wouldn't this be something if the Giants won? Too bad they won't do it, though, and I'm not going to pick them after the collapse we saw last week. That was horrendous. By the way, you want to get a ticket to this game? They're as low as $303. What a swing. Look, I think New York has an offense. I think they've showed that on a weekly basis at this point. I expect them to score in this game on Philadelphia, but I'm also looking for the Eagles to play aggressive and try and get up ahead in the game early and try and get back a win that they very much need at this point. Not that they're not playing well, but they dropped 2 games that they shouldn't have dropped just weeks ago. I'm looking for a big game out of Devontae Smith again, and I'm also looking for a big game out of Saquon Barkley. Something tells me it's going to be the bounce back week, and I called that with Derrick Henry a few weeks ago, and he dropped like 120 yards. I also think Saquon's going to be a dual threat in this game. He's going to have over 100 on the ground and over 50 through the air. Now we've got Buffalo at Carolina. Fuck me. I'm not comfortable with this pick at all, and I'm not comfortable with how much Buffalo is favored. I'll take the Bills 28-24. I am so worried about Rico Dowdle. I'm so worried about defending the run game. Bryce Young is not going to play. It's going to be Andy Dalton, but Andy Dalton can still throw a football, and that's all you need to do to light the Bills up. Our secondary doesn't cover people. We just leave everyone wide the fuck open. I'm praying for a get-right game here, but I am not confident enough to predict it. I think we win, but it's going to be a dogfight, and we need to just run James Cook. Run him until we have a reason not to. Run the fucking ball. And I don't mean to act like James doesn't get carries. He does. But there will be times when he's red hot and we just don't use him. I'm done. Bills win. Now we've got the Bears at the Ravens. As of now, Wednesday, October 22nd, 9:30 a.m. Lamar Jackson's return is still heavily in question. Matter of fact, from what I've heard this morning, it's sounding likely he's probably not going to play. Therefore, I will continue to roll with Chicago here, and I actually predict them to steamroll Baltimore 27-13. The Bears are hot as an iron right now. They've won 4 straight games. Now, I understand they haven't been the best teams, and they've been some injured teams. However, the one thing that's remained incredibly consistent with Chicago all year long is their offense. They have scored 21 or more points every single week. And now they're going against a defense that struggled to contain anybody all year. Shockingly, their best game was against the Rams a couple weeks ago. I think the Bears win and they continue to roll. Now we've got San Francisco at Houston. This is an interesting game because Houston, I mean, Nico Collins just had a concussion. I'm not sure of his status, but they've just been underwhelming this season. And San Francisco, as banged up as they are, they can still play. This is also technically going to be an upset because I'm going to roll with San Francisco to win this by a point, 24-23. And I think Christian McCaffrey continues to go absolutely ballistic, racking up 2 more touchdowns and over 150 all-purpose yards. It is going to be truly an amazing story. One of the most amazing stories in NFL history, in my opinion, if this year's 49ers, after everything that they have sustained, can make the playoffs. Now we've got Tampa at New Orleans. I think this is a massive get-right game for Tampa Bay. They're going to steamroll them 30-14, and I know Tampa's banged up. Mike Evans back out. Godwin and Bucky still quote-unquote getting better. That doesn't sound promising. I still think with these injuries, they're going to suffocate New Orleans. I'm looking for big games out of Otten and Igbuka and Tez. Baker, he's going to throw 4 touchdowns. Defense, they're going to get to Rattler 4 times. They're going to pick him off once. Elvin Kamara, he's going to have 20 carries for under 50 yards. Only ones on the Saints that are going to score touchdowns are going to be Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson. I have the script. Buccaneers win. Now we've got Dallas at Denver. Dallas wins 30-26. You guys want a true upset? I'll give you one because I believe this one. I believe this one. This is a Javonte Williams revenge game. This is a George Pickens 150-yard receiving game. This is going to be a mile-high ass kicking. And you want to know an incredible stat here? Knock on wood. This is the first time in the Cowboys' existence that they have played 4 straight games without turning the ball over. They continue to keep that ball secure, and they continue to drive and consistently put points on the boards. They are going to win. They will outscore Denver. And while I do have my concerns about the Dallas defense, they're playing a good old game I like to call, fuck it, we'll just outscore you. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
Hello, WyattzWorld junkies. It's the Fossil coming to you from the cave with another pick. Last week, I took Detroit to beat Tampax Bay. It happened. I am 6-1 now, looking to go 7-1. Look through the games. There's only 3 games that have teams not involved in previous picks that I've made. Buffalo and the Panthers are one of them, and that's a pretty obvious pick. I'm not going to make that. And San Francisco and Houston, not such an obvious pick, but it's kind of a disinteresting game. I like the Denver-Dallas game. Call this the Jerk Bowl because the biggest jerk in the league owns the Cowboys, and the second biggest jerk coaches the Broncos. This game features the league's worst defense, and they're equally bad on run and pass defense, the Dallas Cowboys, who also has the best offense, and you need to have a good offense when you got a defense that's that bad. Against Denver, who has a pretty stout defense and a top 3rd maybe in the league offense. They're going into Denver to play the Broncos there. The Broncos are undefeated at home. Dallas is 1-3 or 1-4 or whatever on the road. Not as good a road team. I think Sean Payton figures out a way to run this ball down Dallas and throw it with a little screen passes, short passes, and he beats the Cowboys here. I look for Zach to have a bad game because I don't care what anybody says. He still sucks as a quarterback. This game is going to go to the Broncos 24-17 and allow me to move to 7-1. I hope all of you WyattzWorld junkies have a great week, and I'll see you next week when I'm 7-1.
Now we got Tennessee at Indy. If the Titans win this game, I will buy a pumpkin and carve a Titans logo in it and light it up on my doorstep for the next 2 weeks. It's really a damn shame that they didn't give us the opportunity to watch the Jets and the Titans play a game this year, because that honestly would have been the worst NFL game of all time. I'm going shutout here. Indianapolis 28-0. Indianapolis is 14.5-point favorites here, and I still think that's not enough. And now on to Sunday night, we've got the Packers at the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers invites his old family in to try and kick their ass one final time. This is a tough one to pick. Honestly, I can see a tie here. I'm not ballsy enough to predict one, but I can truly see both teams winning. Green Bay hasn't looked as great, obviously, as they did in the start of the season. Definitely more in the middle here, but I am probably going to ultimately side with Green Bay to get out alive. 26-23. I think this is going to be a methodical game by both head coaches. This is going to be a head coaching battle, where I think the Packers offense offense will get ahead and remain ahead until the last whistle blows. Elite Takes Nico made a great observation about the Steelers defense here. They are the highest paid defense in the league, and what they've been producing has not been equal to that. And what Nico pointed out, which obviously I agree with mentioning it, is just due to the fact that that team, Tomlin especially, just hasn't changed anything in so long. And the fact that Joe Flacco has, played in that division for 15 years, was able to know exactly what to do against Tomlin because Tomlin has done the same thing since Joe Flacco has played him for the first time. If the Steelers want to win this game, they're gonna have to turn into a different team. And ending with Monday Night Football, we have Washington at Kansas City. Last I heard, Jaden Daniels' status was unclear for the game. And honestly, the last I checked, that didn't fucking matter anyway. Kansas City is gonna beat their ass. Taking the Chiefs 33-21, and Kansas City is just gonna continue to roll into the dominant force that we once knew them to be. I can't reiterate it enough. This is why you don't laugh at them at the start of the season. We have seen this movie how many times, and once again, it's playing out in front of our eyes. Their offense is back. Defense is coming off of a shutout. Team has all the momentum in the world. The division's back open. They're not going to waste this opportunity. Kansas City, like I said, will beat Washington's ass like a Cherokee drum. And the crowd will sing as the Washington Commanders are dog-walked into the parking lot. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for my Week 8 NFL predictions. As always, let me know in the comments where we differ and feel free to show support because I appreciate any and all help. However, in the meantime, I'm going to get this whipped up so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you guys have a fantastic and safe rest of your Wednesday. And as always, I will see you in the next video.